you get the cops called you if you don't have a mask. It's absurd. So, that's all I really have to say. It's just craziness, man.
Great call, Jaden. Thanks for calling in this evening. Final caller was Jaden. We're about to conclude this broadcast. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. Thanks to the crew for being up here. You heard the people call in to tell you about InfoWarsStore.com, and I appreciate Jaden saying that. Yeah, I mean, guys, this is my last free speech platform. It's the last place where I can have a voice. So if you enjoy InfoWars on Sunday, enjoy us during the weekdays, the War Room, the American Journal, the Alex Jones Show, get to InfoWarsStore.com and support us. And one of the common things when I see media out on the scene and they recognize me now as InfoWars, I have a mic like, oh, how do you live with yourself, Schroyer? How do you live with yourself, InfoWars? I'm not the one promoting the deadly vaccine. I'm not the one faking a pandemic. I'm not the one that lied us into wars that got millions of people killed, okay? So I'm not the criminals here. We're not the criminals. We tell it like it is. And so keep us on air, folks. Support us at InfoWarsStore.com. I'll be back on air tomorrow, 3 to 6 p.m. Central. We'll see you then.
The lead up to the rolling blackouts and power shutdowns in many parts of the country, especially Texas. We warned you that globalists were coming with rolling blackouts next. They would use bad weather as an excuse to turn the power off. How did I know that? This is the same globalist info. 20 years ago, I covered Enron on air. You got caught doing rolling blackouts on the West Coast, not on the code. Created perception there wasn't enough power, so they could demand billions in new power plant construction and raise their prices. Well, now they've raised prices as much as 10,000% after the Texas rolling blackouts. Now ERCOT, especially modern Enron, is telling everybody this has got to happen more in the future if it is blackouts, because they shut down over 100 coal power plants and put us on windmills that do not work. Which is all part of shutting down our energy. That's why I've told listeners, you've got to get back to basics. You learn some survival skills. You've got to get water filtration. You've got to learn to defend yourself, and you've got to get high-quality survival food. Well, we don't sell guns and ammo at InfoWarsStore.com. We do sell great survival gear, the highest quality gravity-fed water filter. It's back in stock. It's sold out for 6 months. $50 off the Alexa Pure Pro, their best stainless steel system. That's the highest rated. $50 off for a limited time on the Alexa Pure Pro. Now back in stock at InfoWarsStore.com. And we're going to do any new sales since last year, but we have gotten an authorization from our high-quality storable food supplier at InfoWarsStore.com to give you an additional 10% off on a month supply, a 3-month supply, a 6-month supply, and a year supply. And that is a huge discount, 10% off at InfoWarsStore.com. And they're ready to ship to you anywhere in the United States or Canada, you name it, within days of your order coming in. Many times they ship the day of. So InfoWarsStore.com, 10% off on high-quality storable foods. I would get them now where you still can, because the globalists are just beginning to trigger these crises to make us dependent on them.
After his first month as president, Joe Biden has canceled the Keystone Pipeline, terminating thousands of jobs and raising fuel prices, suspended protection of our bulk power grid, which has already been infiltrated by the CCP, nodded presidential support for the CCP's strong arming of Hong Kong, Chinese death camps, and a Uyghur genocide, rejoined the Paris Climate Accord to further destroy U.S. industry while China's industry burns at full throttle, and rejoined the CCP-run World Health Organization, pushing the COVID-19 hoax. The federal government has completely fallen to the CCP. America has lost one of its engines. It is now up to our one remaining engine, the states, to pull us up before we crash, or at the very least, give us a good landing.
Section 4 of the 25th Amendment empowers the vice president and a majority of the president's cabinet to determine that the president is no longer fit to serve as president. It was attempted on President Trump in 2017.
Discussion of the 25th Amendment was simply Rod raised the issue and discussed it with me in the context of thinking about how many other cabinet officials might support such an effort.
Well, I've been speaking out about the invocation of the 25th Amendment since early this year because I do think the president is not equipped to do the job.
And recently, after the Capitol riot.
And I don't know where his cabinet has been all this time, but it's long overdue for the 25th Amendment because this man is no longer capable of serving the United States of America.
Of course, Trump's mental fitness wasn't the real issue. It was his pro-America rhetoric that drove the Democrats to abuse Section 4 of the 25th Amendment.
President Donald Trump, who tweeted, quote, "Crazy Nancy is the one who should be under observation. They don't call her crazy for nothing."
But when it comes to mental fitness, Biden has just 1 month proven he is out to lunch and a prime candidate.
We expect these additional to be delivered this summer, and some of it will come as begin to come in early summer, but by the midsummer that this vaccine will be there. And the order, and that increases the total vaccine order in the United States by 50%, from 400 million ordered to 600 million. This is enough vaccine to fully vaccinate 300 Americans by end of the summer, the beginning of the fall.
It's clear, to me at the least, that US President Joe Biden is struggling with dementia and is clearly not up to the task he's been sworn in to do. It was quite telling that while President Biden was playing Mario Kart and napping all of last weekend, apparently he had no official duties. His ambitious deputy Kamala Harris was telephoning foreign leaders. Biden started off by excusing the genocide against the Uyghur people by the Chinese Communist Party. He dismissed it as just Chinese cultural norms.
The central principle of Xi Jinping is that there must be a united, tightly controlled China. And he uses his rationale for the things he does based on that. I point out to him, no American president can be sustained as a president if he doesn't reflect the values of the United States. And so the idea, I'm not going to speak out against what he's doing in Hong Kong, what he's doing with the Uyghurs in western mountains of China, and Taiwan trying to end the one China policy by making it forceful. I said, and by the way, he said he gets it. Culturally, there are different norms in each country, and their leaders are expected to follow.
But then he went on to suggest that blacks, Hispanics, and people who live in the country aren't really smart enough to get online.
A lot of people don't know how to register. Not everybody in the community, in the Hispanic and particularly in rural areas that are distant and or inner city districts.
That's just part of the report. See the same entire report at band.video and share it. It's titled 25th Amendment. It's inevitable for Biden. Now is the time to get prepared. Now is the time to get high-quality storable food that's ready to be shipped to you within days. InfoWarsStore.com has the highest quality storable food, recently processed that I myself and my family use. And during the blackouts and freeze here in Texas, we were able to use food we bought from them years ago. Our supplier is my favorite supply. Buy it from InfoWarsStore.com, ParaDollars.com. Get an additional 10% off because of the emergency. They weren't going to do sales for a long time because of the emergency. They have now said they're doing 10% off exclusively at ParaDollars.com or InfoWarsStore.com. That's ParaDollars.com or InfoWarsStore.com. 10% off on their month supply, 3 months, 6 months, year, and more. They have hundreds of different foods and varieties with great packaging, great quality, great price, ready to ship to you, and it funds the info. For ParaDollars.com, limited time, 10% off. For ParaDollars.com, 10% off right now. Get prepared, get ready, and don't be dependent on the low.
Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want to stop tyranny? Well, so does he. Live from the Infowars.com studios, it's Alex Jones.
We are witnessing the scientific, premeditated, corporate global government directive dismantlement of the United States of America as we know it, because a private corporate tyranny is being set up. They don't want uppity Americans that have due process, that have a right to self-defense, a right to private property, a right to travel. They don't like having a big middle class to deal with. They don't care what color you are. They want you poor and under their control. So, I have really prepared a lot. I wasn't prepared for the broadcast, but I've really prepared a lot today. So we do my little best going over what we're going to be breaking down. We have the new Attorney General now confirmed. He swears to declare war on all Trump voters, all 80 million of them. And he has General Ray that carried out the gun confiscation in Katrina, famously, saying that all Trump supporters are white supremacists and terrorists. These people are just completely insane and out of control. We're going to be laying all of that out for you today. Sunday Live. The Attorney General pledges to persecute all populist Americans. 1 month of Biden and America is already collapsing. He carried out the gun confiscation in Katrina of people in their homes, high and dry, and he is prepared to move against the public now. So that is all coming up. Here is General Ray. And we'll also be getting to the new Attorney General. Biden, the Democrats, still running scared after stealing election. Will never hold an open event with the American people. It is so incredibly obvious. Ignored by media, dirtbag Joe Biden says U.S. veterans and former police officers are fueling white supremacy in America. School children are being taught nationwide. We have PSAs that whiteness is evil that must be rejected and rebuked. I mean, this is just beyond KKK stuff on the left. Meanwhile, the Justice Department and FBI are investigating whether Roger Stone and Alex Jones played a role in the Capitol siege. That's the Washington Post. U.S. investigating Alex Jones and Roger Stone. You mean the Chi-Com-run FBI investigating Alex Jones and Roger Stone for links to Capitol rioters. Oh, my goodness. Once upon a presidency, populist to dissident. And that ties into meet the new president of the United States, Barack Obama, now in his third term. That is the first stack that I'm going to cover in detail next segment. That's just one of the stacks. Let's look at the next stack I'm going to cover in the segment after that. Smoking gun. Joe Biden's Department of Energy blocked Texas from increasing power ahead of killer storm. We have the Department of Energy document. And, of course, we'll show how under Obama they shut down over 100 power plants. Trump tried to turn them back on, but the owners said, we don't trust the fact that you'll be still in office. They're going to remove you. So they never reopened any of the coal power plants. Natural gas doesn't work in the cold. We had natural gas generator because it's all you can basically buy these days. It failed here as well. So when Bill Gates goes, oh, it's natural gas that failed. Yeah, because you took the coal power plants out. That is all coming up. And the 18,000% power increases for many people. Folks with $500 bills got $17,000 bills. Now, remember I told you, once the rolling blackouts begin, they'll always use cold weather or really hot weather as the excuse. They'll then down their regular systems and then make you buy it from other grids that they own and control and make billions an hour sometimes. And that's what happened to major fleecing of Texas. I will give you the complete breakdown of that. Did a huge special report on Friday with the exclusive document, protested the governor's mansion yesterday because he's got Joe Biden coming sometime next week to grandstand and give us our own tax money back and tell us how it's Texas's fault that the power went out when it wasn't. And I've been warning, this is coming ad nauseum. Then, after we cover that incredibly important narrative, we have third world countries collapse. And we're following an exact trail of collapse. And the country's being sucked dry with the all virtue signal and wear our mask. And now Biden says it's permanent. Never take them off. It doesn't matter if you take the vaccine. That doesn't protect you. Oh, but there's herd immunity. Suddenly the death toll's way down because the winter's going to end. And there won't be people dying of flu and all the rest of it. It's a giant fraud. But we still comply, so the tyranny gets worse. And then the big whop. I'm going to cover this last segment of the first hour. When I read the headline, I thought, okay, I trust Christian Shanahan critical thinking is the enemy and must be suspended in your mind. Directly called Crime Stop or Doublethink from 1984. And a guy that stalked me here in Austin for a long time, Charlie Wurzel, the Weasel, is in the article talking to professors about how we must only